everyone, my name is Katie and I am a 4th year first grade teacher, and welcome to the next video in my Vlogmas series. In today's video, I'm going to give a brief overview of my small group rotations that I use for literacy centers. Lately in my weekly vlogs, I've been going into a little bit more depth about what my whole group and small group instruction looks like kind of on a daily basis. And I had some people comment and ask to see what do the rest of my students do during my small group time while I have a group with me at the teacher table. I have done small groups the same way for 4 years, and I literally copied and pasted exactly what my cooperating teacher in internship did when she did center rotations. I use a slide on Google Slide to kind of manage the flow for my students, and I'll show you a little bit about how I make that and then how a student would figure out where they're supposed to go each day for centers. So let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so this is what my Google Slide rotations look like. I just put my name in a box so we can kind of follow along where I would go during a full rotation. So I just found backgrounds and of course used my signature font to do the text. And then I found these images online with a pack for centers and used those to indicate the teacher table, centers, read to self, and seat work. And then last year we had a race car theme, and so I just kept the cars on there this year so I could have each group with a color, but I don't really call them by their colors. I could, I just don't really. And then over here I also inserted a timer. So inserting a timer on the slides I think is one of the coolest ways to manage the flow of small groups. All I had to do was click insert and video. And then you can type in 5-minute timer, 10-minute timer, whatever you want onto YouTube and insert the video. Then when you click on the video that you inserted right here and go to format options, it gives you the option to decide where you want your video to start and stop. So since my center rotations are 10 minutes each, I started at 10 minutes and then I have it stop right before the end because otherwise it plays some crazy loud music. So when I click start or present on my slides, it's going to start at the 10-minute mark and it will start right away on its own. So every time I click the slide, it starts just like that. And then also that is like right here, play automatically is what I have that setting on. So my students' names stay in the same place. That way they're not always searching the slide for their name, but it shows them where they're supposed to go. So for my first rotation, I would be at the teacher table. I can find my name up here and see that I'm supposed to be at the teacher table and I can go there. When the rotation is over, I ring my doorbell, which sounds like this. And then I click the slide to the next one. Sometimes you have to double click. And it goes to a cleanup slide and it automatically gives them 1 minute to clean up, and all of my groups go back to their seat and clean up their area. After that's over, I will say, okay, walk to rotation 2. And I'll click to the next slide and they'll go to rotation 2. You'll notice that my name stayed in the same spot, but my picture has changed. So now I would be at seat work. And I can see the picture right there of the little person at their desk. I do the same. When the bell rings, we clean up. Rotation 3, my name is in the same spot, but now I'm at the read to self center right here. And then same thing, we do a cleanup slide. And then the last one is centers. Centers are probably the most complicated, and I'll show you how they find what center they're going to in just a moment. But there are lots of cool templates like this on Teachers Pay Teachers that you can purchase from other teachers who have made holiday themed rotation slides, just cutesy rotation slides, or you can make your own. I love the rainbow and the Dalmatian spots, so I made my own last year to use. Okay, so here is how my students know which center they're supposed to go to. When they look at the Google slide and they see their name is next to centers, then they can come and check our center board down here on the front wall. It's kind of cool because this little strip is magnetic this year, and so I just kind of attached everything with magnets. In the past, I've also used tape, and I've used a pocket chart too to make it easy to move, and Velcro. But I have 4 different centers in my classroom. I have a computer center, a listening center, a word work center, and a writing center. And each student will visit each center one time during the week. I put all my students' numbers on magnets, and the magnets stay in the same place. That way it's easy for them to find their magnet. And at the end of each day, I just take the center cards and rotate them to the next spot, which I haven't actually done yet at the end of the day, so I'll go ahead and do that now. So I would just take computer and move it to listening. Listening and move it to word work. Word work and move it to writing, and then writing up at the beginning. Pro tip that my cooperating teacher did when I was in internship, she always did it in alphabetical order: computer, listening, word work, writing. That way she could remember if she had already changed it, which is a lifesaver, because I really do look at it and I'm like, did I already change that for today? And I can say, okay, today was the second day we did rotations this week, so this one should be here, and so forth and so on. So that's super helpful. Now at each station, they do something a little bit different. So I'll walk you through what each center kind of looks like. I use my Canvas homepage to house both the computer center and the listening center for my class. Our computer center is Typing Club, which is a free online site where students can practice their typing. In the past, I've also used McGraw-Hill Education's Wonders Online. I can't remember. Oh, Connect Ed, that's what it's called, that went with our reading program. And you can use any kind of computer program you have at your school. Like we use Lexia Core, so I could also do Lexia if I wanted for the computer center. So there's lots of options, any computer program you use. And I linked the picture, so when I click on the button, it takes us right here, and I can see the information because it's logged in as my teacher login. You can tell we've had a nice long break because nobody's been active, but they get to do that at the computer center. The listening center is also housed on my Canvas page, so when they click on that, it's going to pull up a digital listening center that I made last year. I have one for every month, so this is the month of December, and it has stories that they can listen to as a digital listening center. They can choose the book from the bookshelf and then listen to the story. So I changed that out. I made that on Google Slides, and then I did a presentation link. So if you go up into the little URL, all you have to do is, if you're looking at the slide, like I'll show you on this one. If you're looking at the slide, you can see where it says edit. If you take out all the way up to that slash and you type in the word present and click enter, then it just makes it a presentation link. And so I will copy that link, and that's the one that I will link to the listening center button to make my digital listening center. So that's kind of the computer and the listening center. I keep my WordWork Center in the front of my room in a little bucket, so they kind of have all of the area on the sit spots to work on it. But it always has something that works with the phonics skill that we're learning for the week. Now this week we're doing soft C and soft G, and we're gonna do it 2 weeks. And so I actually have like a review skill in here where they can review their magic E words. So I put in some decodable texts: the bike, bake a cake, and the sad mule. These are just some that I found at a garage sale quite a while ago from Frontline Educational Products. So got these from a teacher garage sale, and I put in the little, they're not magnifiers, like the reading focusers. And what I'm having them do is go into the text. They use the focuser to put it on the line to read it. Kim is 5. Kim gets a red bike. It is not big, it is his size. And then once they're finished, they can look on that page and find any words with magic E. And I gave them a recording sheet, just notebook paper, so they can write it on there and make a list of all of the magic E words that they find. But this is where I would put any kind of center activity that I prep, like a word sort activity, or sometimes I put some high frequency words in here too, and I let them build high frequency words. Any kinds of those fun, like hands-on centers. Like 1 week we had cookies with letters on them, and they put the cookies together to make a word. Anything like that that kind of goes with the phonics skill is in our word work bucket. The last center is in the back of the room. It's our writing center. This week we're working on writing what we are thankful for, because we just came off of Thanksgiving break. But sometimes I have some fun themed writings in the bucket, or I might do a sentence puzzle where I write a sentence with their phonics skill and cut it up, and they have to put it back in the correct order. So it just kind of depends. I kind of vary the activities a lot. But one other thing I forgot to mention when I was showing you the word work is I do have a matching label at the writing center and the word work center, so it's very clear that that's the center that is indicated by our center board in the front. As I have it right now, each student is at a center on their own, but I've also done in past years where they're at a center with a partner. So I just kind of feel that out with the class and see, like, are they actually going to get work done, or are they going to play? And the students really don't mind going to the center on their own because they think it's fun to just kind of sit and get to work on their own little activity, and they get so excited to go to the centers anyways. I also love having the Google slide visual, because then when a student is confused and they don't know where they need to go, I can just point them to the slide and say, go find your name. And when they find their name, they can see exactly where they're supposed to go. So that's how I do my small group rotation. Students rotate from the teacher table to some kind of center based on the center board, or seat work, or at Read to Self in our classroom library. Right now I have group time at about 10 minutes. I've done longer in the past, but due to COVID last year, we really shortened it up because of contact tracing. I would love to extend it a little bit more, but it all kind of depends on how much time you have and how many groups you have. So I have 4 groups, that way I can have just 4 students in each group. So we only really get 10 minutes with each group, but we try to maximize that time. And then I also am not like super duper strict on the timer slides. Like even when the timer's up, sometimes I'll push a group further if I need extra time with them, because the rest of my class is trained to know that we don't actually rotate until we hear the doorbell. The timer is just up there as a reminder to keep me on task. So that is my small groups in a small nutshell. I hope that was helpful to kind of show you how I do the flow of things. I would love to know how you guys do your small groups though. So if you have a way that works for you, please leave it in the comments below. I've been toying around with the idea of doing some more independent centers where they get to kind of choose and make sure that they finish a certain number of activities by the end of the week. But I just don't know how to facilitate or manage that yet, and this is what I know, and it works all right. So we're sticking with that right now. But if you have any tips for how you do independent centers and keep students accountable, please leave them for me below, or any videos that you've seen on it. Let me know, because I'm always open for new ideas. I hope this video was helpful for you guys, and I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Make sure you like it and subscribe so you don't miss any more videos in the Vlogmas series, and I will see you guys in the next one.